Just make sure before I put it down on the table in front of to run upstairs and grab my Celsius and put that there, whatever I can get sent to me for free, All right, game week, pretty exciting time. I know I'm excited. It's been a couple years since I've had a game week, so I'm kind of fired up. I look at our players. When you go through it, when you're looking at 25 training camp practices, 15 spring ball practices, that's 40 with OTAs. We've gone against each other for a long time, so I think they're finally excited to go against somebody else. I think that's the excitement. Obviously, the challenge is you've gone against each other for a long time. We're so used, the defense is so used to seeing our offense. Boy, completely different offense we're going to see this week. The same thing, our offense used to going against a certain defense and what that does, and we're going against a different style of defense this week. So all of those, and then the adjustment of everybody getting used to what I know. I'm pretty comfortable with the game week routine, even though it's been a couple of years. But, I look around the building, and they're like, all right. John Clark's comfortable with it. Lee Davis is comfortable with it, Coach Tanner, our strength coach, he's been kind of through it a little bit, and I think Mike Slenny was a GA. A couple of the guys played in it maybe, but there's not a lot of people in the building that are, just assume, it's game week, switch to our game week routine. They're all the coaches, players, everybody's learning it. It's new. But we're going to have some fun. Get ready to play on Saturday. I know we're excited to get in the stadium and get going. I got to talk to the freshman student class today, right? Listen. I went to see Matt Franco on Friday night with the family, right? It was an awesome show. He's unbelievable. But, that's not cheap, right? You're talking the best show in town's in Allegiant Saturday at 1, and it's free for the students. I'm like, well, what a deal you guys got as students. That's a heck of a deal.
Questions.
We're ready. It's game week. Let's go.
Coach, with the spread offense, how much do you build that offense here in this go-round around your personnel?
Every year, it's always going to be built around our personnel. I think we have a pretty good feel of what our guys can do. I'm not going to share it all right now yet, but there's years in the same offensive system. We've led the league in rushing. There's other years we've led the league in passing. There's elite years we led the league in time of possession and maybe only scored in the mid to high 20s a game. There's other years where we scored over 40 a game. And it's not just offensive personnel; it's team personnel. It is, the offense is trying to score one more point than the other team, and the defense is trying to hold them to one more point than we score. And you got to work together with this team that way. So we're always going to base it around the personnel that we have and trying to put guys in the best position to do what they do well.
Coach, I know you mentioned it. It's been a couple of years for you since you have gone through the game day routine as a head coach, but what are you most looking forward to when you step back onto the field as a head coach this weekend?
Just the energy, the excitement. I'm excited to watch these guys play, as a coach. We work hard to put these guys in a good position to go out on the field and make plays, to prepare them to go play. And, the reward is, game day, we work really hard to get this reward. You only get so many of them in a year. I'm just really excited to, hopefully we've got these guys prepared and to let them go and let them have fun and, let's see what the players can do on a game day. People are like, hey, coach, how are we looking? Are we good? I don't know. I've only seen us go against each other. So I'm hoping we can go out there, and I'm excited to see these guys go against somebody else. That's really what I'm most looking forward to.
Coach, you mentioned previously just the importance of the atmosphere inside the stadium, and now you mentioned speaking to the freshman class. Just how important are students to the atmosphere and the overall program?
Well, I think every school I've been at, wherever I've coached, the students set the atmosphere of the stadium, right? You're looking at our band and our students. They're really the ones that kind of set the atmosphere. I know our fan base, but they're going to feed off of it everywhere I've ever been. And for our student body, I think it's something you look. They get the opportunity. I have pretty high expectations. I hope our team has high expectations, and I hope our student body has high expectations. That they want to get to be involved in championship football and high-level football and get to go experience that, right? I've coached in places. There's a lot of people, and they're like, well, I'm going to an SEC school because they have a great football. Like, I mean, students, not like players. Like, hey, I want to go to this school, right? I mean, they got to do their sorority rush videos to dance, right, and to go to football games. And hopefully get an education, but that's probably third, right? No, it's well, I think one of the things that I want for our student body to experience is that opportunity to have big-time college football, and they're going to be a major part of all of that.
You told me the plan is to play both quarterbacks on Saturday. Is that still the plan moving forward?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Both guys will get in the game for sure on Saturday. Well, I don't know. It's Monday. So, they both took reps today. Hopefully they're both healthy come Saturday. If they're both healthy come Saturday, they'll both play on Saturday. I think that's tomorrow our injury.
Yeah. Just kind of piggybacking off that. I mean, they'll both play. Would it be packages? Would it be flow of game? Like, how do you kind of approach that when you know two guys will play?
Yeah, it's Monday. Again, I want to see kind of how we practice this week, how the plan goes. I plan on right now them both guys playing. So I don't know what we're going to call in the first play of the game. So I don't know who'll be in the first play of the game. Maybe both. There we go. I like to keep everybody on their toes, just to annoy everybody. You know what I mean? That's who is the starter? I don't know. They both did. You never know. I might sneak out there. I think I do have 1 year of eligibility left.
Did the competition on the field every day ultimately meet or exceed your expectations that you had going into fall camp?
Yeah, I do. I would say certainly met it. I have pretty high standards. I don't want to go with exceed, but certainly met it. I think the competition on the field every day and how the team works and the focus, like we've always talked about, of don't worry about who starts, worry about how many, are you getting, what reps are you ready to get? How can you help the team? I think the buy-in to that right now, we'll see, hopefully it continues during the season, has led to a lot of competition, which hopefully leads to a lot of depth on the roster at different positions, where we can play a lot of different players and play a lot of different guys. And it's a long season. Even with 3 bye weeks, it's still a long season. It's, we get 12. We're hoping to play, a 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. We can get to 17 this year. So we'd like, that's a long year. We'd like to get to 17 if we have to. And so to do that, you got to have a lot of depth. And so hopefully, I think the competition through camp, through spring and through camp, the guys pushing each other, hopefully is creating the depth that'll give us that opportunity to play a lot of games this fall.
Focus at a lot of programs this time of year, especially heading into the first game, coaching up the players, obviously. But for you, kind of on the flip side, how much of focus do you put on coaching up this new coaching staff being together for the first time?
A lot. One, we have a young coaching staff. 2, we have, some it's new for a lot of people. I think game one so much is also, it's kind of about yourself as a team, is how are we translating from practice to game, and are we executing from practice to a game? Are we translating all the concepts of offense and defense we know and applying it to a specific game plan? And how are the coaches, not just making sure we're not just, hey, we taught the offense, defense, we know how to practice that adjustment. I'm kind of on everybody right now. I'll be paranoid a little bit this week of what I'm forgetting. I have my game checklists and all that, and I've already gone through it probably 4 times, and I'm like, okay, just are we hitting everything? And then throw on top of it, it's we're not in school yet, but we're set on the game week rules of how long we can practice, and so we're trying to practice in the morning. This week. Next week it'll go late at night practice, but to try to match game times too, so the body clock's ready to go play. So there's all of those little things going on that I kind of try to constantly thinking about. Did we remember this? Did we remember that? Every little detail.
And then building on that, you've got a young offensive coordinator in Corey Dennis. You've got obviously a long experience calling plays. Who's going to be calling the offense week 1, week 0, I guess?
Corey will call the plays. I'm opinionated, so I'm sure I'll pipe in every once in a while. You know, if I don't, I need to, like, I mean, if not, I got to control myself on game day, right? You know, I used to, when I wasn't calling plays, like, I got to be careful because the head coach, right, you'll be like, I mean, that's so bad. Like, if we go 3 and out, like, is that the best we can do? Are those the 3 best plays we could call? So when I went back to calling plays, at least I couldn't, like, if I said that, it was like me yelling at myself. Like, that's embarrassing. You know what I mean? Can we call any better plays than that? But no, Corey, I have pretty good confidence. You know, we'll all be involved in the game plan. We have a good coaching staff. Anytime you have a good offensive staff, even when I was calling plays, everybody has input on what's going on. You know, the only time it's really hard is when there's crickets, when there's dead silence, and, you know, like, I mean, I've been in those games where just like nothing seems to be happening. If everything's working, it's funny how everybody, oh, run this, oh, run that, oh, run this, you know. It's when you're calling a game and you're like, okay, what does everybody think? Hello? What does everybody think? You know, like, oh, boy. But with our offensive staff, everyone will contribute. You know, I mean, of what we like to see, this is what we like in the runs, like matchups, all those things. But Corey will call it, and I'll probably chime in some.
I saw you mention, too, Paloma in the discussion last night about the quarterbacks, that each guy has a unique skill set.
Yeah.
So what's unique about Orji versus Calandria?
You know, I mean, you look at the physicality that they bring, you know, and they both have different leadership styles, right? I mean, Orji's, I think, is a tremendous leader on his personality, on his demeanor, on his standard, on holding everybody accountable to a certain level, where Anthony comes in with, you know, I mean, kind of like, you know, the Energizer Bunny. Like, I mean, that type of leadership. I mean, he's like kind of going nonstop. You know, Alex, I mean, can throw the ball over a mountain, to, you know, quote Uncle Rico, right? And so he's got such a strong arm, and I mean, you're talking about 6'3", 245. That's a physical runner. Where Anthony's actually, you know, I mean, can make all the different off-platform throws, and is actually one of the fastest guys on the team. And so I think, you know, when you're looking at him, it's just even like even if they run a lot like running backs, you know, I mean, whether you're running base plays, you know, even if they drop back and scramble to extend a play, their scramble style is going to be very different. And I think that's one of the things that's unique, that, you know, you're going to have to be able to play for both quarterbacks, and then know and say, hey, we got to rush this guy this way. We have to rush that guy that way. We have to stop, you know, even though they're running the same play, we make sure we contain this guy over here, or don't let that guy run between the tackles over here. So I think that type of matchup issues is beneficial for us.
I know you had talked a few months ago about being involved in the game day experience, that you wanted to be involved in that. How much did you look at Allegiant? Do you have anything you can tell us about something you're going to introduce, or what you wanted?
Hopefully it's good. I get there early. I think we got cool walkout music. Our entrance is going to be pretty cool. I like that. Start of the fourth quarter is going to be really cool. You know, I think we're working right now to have, for some reason, they won't put the seats in the stadium for us, so we brought temporary bleachers in to have students down on the field, that we're going to get them closer to the action. You know, to try to create as great a game day atmosphere as we can in the stadium for our student body and all of our fans. So, I always want the game day atmosphere, not just to be more than just a game, so people come to a game. I mean, it's 4 quarters. It's, you know, 3 hours of fun. You know, I mean, it's a 3-hour show. There'll be a little intermission, you know, at the halftime, but the rest of it, even though we're going to be performing at halftime, so it'll be it should be exciting and a lot of fun for everybody. Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to do that as well, or get a balance? Or?
Yeah, I think you got to remember it's a balance, right? I mean, these are 18 to 22-year-old kids, so still, right? And, you know, I mean, and you look, I mean, Pro athletes don't have to go to class during the day. They just do football all day. Our guys actually have to go to school and go to class. So you have to have that constant balance between the two of what goes on within the development stage, right? I think one of the things that gets lost, you look at the pro level, they want guys that are already developed. They want guys that are ready to go play. We're developing guys still. So it's a little bit of a mix. We have a kind of a pro mindset and a pro concept, but we're not going to be afraid to develop players and help them grow and become better every single day. And I think that development part of the college game is a critical thing you can never lose.
Coach, last year Idaho State had a quarterback that threw for over 3,000 yards. Do you feel that the defense and the secondary will be tested in this game?
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to throw it. They're going to spread you all over the field. They throw it. He gets rid of the ball really fast, gets it out of his hands, can make all different off-balance throws under pressure. They're going to run a unique offense that is, as I say, when we're looking and saying, hey, we're going to face an offense we haven't seen because we're so used to going against each other. They're going to cause a lot of challenges for our secondary, which are all, as everyone knows, are all new faces. There are a lot of new faces all over the field for us. So, that'll be a big challenge for us. And he's a guy that can make and is actually a really good athlete, can make all the throws, very comfortable in the system that they're doing, and it's going to be a pretty big challenge for us.
Coach, overall, what stands out to you about Idaho State going into this one?
Well, I think you look offensively, you look at their record last year, and, I was talking to Paul about it. It's like you look at their games, like every game's like 42-35, right? And they won some and lost some. But it's like every game's 42-35. So, I think that offensive firepower, their ability to score points and the explosiveness of their ability, even to keep up with you if you're scoring. So I think that part of it, we're going to have to be ready to play 4 quarters of football, because especially teams that can throw it, you're never out of a game. It's not like, they're behind and they're a ball control option football team that are just going to run it every play. They're going to throw it every play. So, you get behind. Even if they're behind, they can still throw to catch up. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge.
With this game moved from its original scheduled date to week 0, how much did that change things for you and your staff when that came down? And when did the prep for Idaho State really start in earnest?
Really, to us, last Friday. We gave the players the day off on Friday, and so the coaches, we kind of started really diving into the game plan. A lot of the rest of it's been focused on ourselves, especially year one. Everybody's learning new things, so really important for us to get that, understand what we do well, understand what our expectations are for them. So, but the change in the schedule really didn't affect us all that much. It affects next week a little bit more because you have a game and then a shorter week. So it affects that maybe more than it affects this. But, Sam Houston, I think they're playing week 0 too. So we're kind of even on what our preparation time is. It'll be a lot of fun. You know what? I'm excited and looking forward to getting back out there, having that energy, that excitement, that game day rush, right? I always think game day it was always on my bucket list, but I never did it, and it kept falling further down my bucket list was to go skydiving. Anybody gone skydiving? Nobody's jumped out of a plane? There's some younger, but when you're young, it was really high on the bucket list, and then kind of it really haven't hit it quite yet. That African safaris jumped up a little bit more, and that's gonna fall down, and you have little things like that. But I always vision like game days, like a 3.5-hour free fall out of a plane. Like, you're like the rush of it is just like a unbelievable rush. And so, I mean, I'm excited for that, to get that feeling that it's you feel alive on game day. I mean, it's so much going on. It's going to be pretty cool.
Have you ever jumped out of a plane?
I have not. I didn't do it. That was on my bucket list. That's why I said it used to be. So I almost did. All right. So when I was like in college, or like right after college, one of my friends it was Navy SEAL. And he's like, oh, let's go skydive. Let's go jump out. Let's go skydiving, because he's got to do so many jumps and all that stuff, even when he wrapped up. So I'm like, all right. And I'm like, all right. So they'll strap you to some instructor, and then I'll jump out next to you and we'll go skydive. I'm like, well, why won't I be strapped to you? He's like, because like I'm not the certified instructor to have you strapped to me. I said, yeah, but you're like a Navy SEAL. You'll get us down. Like I trusted he would get us down to the ground. I don't know, like some hippie, guy that was smoking some weed and like, hey, coach, let's jump out of a plane, dude. And I don't know, like, who it was going to be. So like I ended up not doing it. Like, we didn't actually go, but I was like, if I could have been tied to him, I would have trusted he could have got us to the ground. But you don't know, like, I mean, like, they're going to be strapped me to some dude. I mean, like, I don't know the guy. I don't know if he's going to want to get us down to the ground or not. So I kind of didn't do it then, and then it started kind of like, I found some other things that like really, I haven't been to Australia yet either, and that's kind of jumped way above skydiving at this point. So. Have a great. We'll see you whenever. I don't know. It's game week.
You need to, so you can, since you're comparing a game day. Skydiving. I'm just saying, I'm actually. Thanks, Coach.
Yep, we'll see y'all. Your dad.
You want him to go there, or do you want me to just drop that one and then sit on the sides? What do you want?
These two are. How are you? Jake, you right here.
Jay, Coach talked about you want to hit someone else now. It's time. That time, can you just talk about your feelings going in the first game and not having to just be against your guys?
Oh, I know we're all excited to finally hit someone in a different jersey. We've been working really hard, and we finished up summer and spring really well. We're making good progress here in the fall, and we can't wait to get out there Saturday and hit them. So.
Jake, there was a 3,000-yard passer last year for Idaho State. I was just asking Coach about it. How much of a test do you think this will be for the secondary?
I think it's always going to be a good test for us. As a secondary, it starts and ends with us. And, it's really important to be on our A game every single game, not just this one. They got some really good players, a great quarterback, and I'm really excited to see the competition out there.
Jed, you knew there would be a different way of doing things with the change in coaches. For you personally, what has it been like transitioning from Barry Odom and the way he did things to Dan Mullen and the way he does things?
Of course, it was just a new transition, just being able to adapt to what's going on. Mainly just adapting to, the new culture, the new foundation of this team. It's not really hard just getting adjusted to Coach Mullen because it's really similar. It's just being able just to adapt.
So it hasn't been a problem for you?
No problem.
If you guys, this is a question for both of you, if you could just be as specific as possible, favorite part about just this time of year and really game day, like what excites you the most when thinking about stepping onto the field and starting another season?
I think it's just being able to see how all the work we put in comes together. We've all been eager to see how we're going to come together as a team on game day, and I know it's going to be great. We're going to get out there, fly around, play for one another, and I just can't wait to see it finally go out there on the field against somebody else.
Just the same thing as Jake. Just just being around the crowd, just getting that little feel from the stadium, which from college football is just exciting. So just on that aspect, just seeing the fans, the team, that's really it.
Jet, Coach told me he plans to play both quarterbacks on Saturday. Can you talk about the strengths of each quarterback and your excitement to play with them?
I'm excited to play with both. They both are very versatile. They both have their own unique attributes which best fits them. Really just playing with both of them is just exciting because, I get the feel of one and just also the feel of another. They both are awesome playmakers. So at the end of the day, we just got to do our job, and I believe in both of them.
You told me on the Reb Zone you have unfinished business this season. Can you talk about the hunger you have this week?
Yeah, just really it's game one, just being happy and just feel just to go play. Just finishing off from last year, came up short, and I just want to just get a better drive this year, finish what I didn't finish last year.
And for you, Jake, on your side of the ball, just what has impressed you about this defense?
I think just the way we fly around. Like, our effort is undoubtedly the best part about our defense. Our coaches say all the time we've never had a problem with effort. We just got to always fix the little things, and obviously that'll happen as the week goes on. But our effort, the way we fly around, the way we tackle, and the way we play as one unit is really special.
Coming from the SEC, what has impressed you about UNLV?
I think, like I just said, just the way we fly around. It's the same over there. You don't take a play off. You know the standard, and that's the standard we have on this defense too.
For Jet, you're one of the guys on this team that's been able to experience a home opener inside of Allegiant Stadium. How have you seen just the fan base and the students kind of elevate over the course of the few years you've been here?
Over the few years, it's been exciting just, seeing more people come to the game just to enjoy us play. I feel like this year we have a lot more from, the previous years, which is very exciting, even though for the program itself. Just seeing the fans just come in and just support us, which is it's a big deal, help us. It fuels us for the game, and that's really it, just being excited just to see them.
And Jet, throughout the last offseason, kind of similar sentiments echoed by both you and Marcel McDuffie on the defensive side. You're really the only two returning starters on this year's roster. Was that a conversation that you two had ever had with each other, or was that more of just an unspoken thing, just by happenstance, that you both kind of had the same things to say about your loyalty to the program and wanted to come back and finish?
It was really the same thing, but we both, before we came back, we both had a little conversation about what we wanted to do, but that was really it.
And then where have you seen yourself over these last couple of years take the biggest steps in terms of your leadership role?
Just being, I'm not really a vocal person, but just trying to be more vocal, just telling my players, come on, got this. Not being hard because everybody has a different way of how they play. So just being coachable, really just trying to help them be coachable.
And Jake, the leadership role, pretty evident for you right off the bat. Has that always been a part of your game and your personality?
It has been a part of my game. I'm just finally actually, getting an opportunity to express it upon my teammates, and it means the absolute world to me. I'm going to continue to do so.
Jet, could you talk about the running back room? It is so solid, and there's 4 running backs, I think, that could make the big play explosives.
Just having all of us is a blessing because, if someone's on the field, we have another one just to back it up and just to keep the effort going. It's fun just actually being around, other great backs because they fill me up. I make them better. They make me better. There's no headbutting in the room. We all love each other. It's all love from the bottom up. And really, we know our goal. We know that we have to be the engine of the team. So just us finishing our goal, just being the engine every day, every down.
And Jake, talk about the defense coming together and becoming a more cohesive unit from what you saw in the spring until now, and the communication that goes into all of that.
Right. Obviously, there's a bunch of communication on the defense, and we've done that well. And honestly, since day one, we've communicated very well. Like I said earlier, we fly around, and each day we're going to take steps to kind of just tighten the screws and become the best defense we can possibly be on game day.
More questions for Jake and Jet?
Just one more for Jake. How has Gunther really elevated your game this season?
He's the best. I'm so glad he's here, and he's a great coach. He knows how to do it. He has the most experience out of anyone, that I've been coached by for the most part, and I'm super excited that he's here. He's getting us ready to go, and he's put in some great installs, and I'm excited to see it on Saturday.
Anyone else? All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.